Hi, my name is Sarah and welcome to this video. Today's practice is going to be a sunrise slow flow, although you don't have to do it as the sun is rising. It's just a really nice practice that you can do to start your morning off when you're waking up and you want to get a little bit of movement into your body. Get your space all set up and then we will begin to move. So we're going to begin our practice today in a standing position. So just come up onto your feet, standing somewhere on your mat where you can hear me or see me. Find a nice comfortable stance, feet together or hip distance. Bring a little bend to your knees and just take a moment to place your hands somewhere on your body. So maybe onto your legs, belly, heart, arms. Maybe you should prefer just to bring the fingers to touch if that's more comfortable for you. Wherever you arrive, take a moment to close the eyes down if that feels safe for you. See if you can really feel the place where your hands are touching the body. And we're just going to start to really breathe into our body now, feeling energy rising from the soles of the feet, coming all the way up towards the crown of our head. So begin to find a nice full deep breath in, and then a full deep breath out. Nice full deep breath in, and then a full deep breath out. Last one, nice full deep breath in, and then a full deep breath out. Give yourself a chance just to really feel your own touch. Taking a moment just to check in with yourself, noticing how you feel this morning. Noticing any emotions that you might be going through, or the sort of energy level that you might have as you begin your day. And just simply taking some time just to acknowledge wherever you're at. So we don't really want to force or shift the energy when it's not ready to move. But instead, we just want to support ourselves to come into our experience just as we are. Now, when you're ready, nice and slow, you can start to begin to open your eyes if they're closed. We're going to start to bring a little bit of movement into our body now. So, keeping your feet as they are, you're going to take your arms out by your side. Take an inhale, draw your arms up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, hands into prayer, lowering the hands down towards the heart. We're going to take a few rounds like this. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, full deep breath in. Exhale, full deep breath out. A few more like this. Two more. Last round. Now, as you take your next inhale, sweep both of your arms up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to interlace behind your back. You're going to start to bring your hands over towards your right hip. And what you'll do is you'll drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder, feeling a stretch through the left side of the neck. As you take your next inhale, sweep your arms up. And then as you exhale, you're going to interlace your hands behind your back again, but this time you'll bring the awkward thumb on top, so you should notice the difference. And then you'll bring your hands over to the opposite side. You'll drop your ear over to the left side this time, feeling a stretch through the right side of your neck. As you take your next inhale, your arms come up. As you exhale, interlace the hands behind the back once again. This time you're going to pull the hands away from your low back, little puff of your heart as you take your eye gaze up. Try and keep a little bend of the knees. Squeezing the shoulder blades in, just finding a little breath here. And then nice and slow, you're going to start to hinge at your hips. We're going to come towards a forward fold. So let gravity take the weight of your head down. Try to keep a bend of the elbows. Hands just settle wherever they feel comfortable. Grounding down through the feet, giving a nice bend to the knees if you still feel quite tight through the back of the legs. Just notice the breath. And then on your next inhale, little bend to the knees, start to roll the spine up. Sweep our arms all the way up. And then exhale once again, hands to heart. From here, you're going to inhale, draw your arms up. And this time you're going to grab onto your right wrist with your left hand. And we're just going to find a side body stretch by leaning to the left side. So see if you can visualize pulling your arm up and out as you come into your side body stretch. Rise through center. Grab onto the opposite wrist. Lean to the side. See if you can really visualize yourself lengthening and leaning as you come into your stretch. Come through center. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice, full deep breath in. And then a full deep breath out. So from here, if you're not at the top of your mat, just take a moment just to arrive. We're going to start to come now into a few more of our poses. So a little bend to the knees. You'll take an inhale, draw your arms up, take your eye gaze all the way up. As you exhale, you'll hinge at your hips, make your way all the way down towards a forward fold. You'll drop the crown of your head down, find some length through your spine. Fingertips are either on the floor, maybe you grab onto your elbows, maybe you have to bring your hands onto your blocks. Whatever feels most supportive for your body. Maybe finding a little sway side to side if that feels good. Then from here, you're going to plant your hands down and we're going to take a step back towards our downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal through your feet if you still feel quite tight. See if we can start to really engage the body with some energy now. So pushing down into the earth through your base, so your hands and your feet. As soon as you start to activate your foundation, you should start to feel a little bit of heat moving through the body. This is going to help to warm the body up as well as bring a little bit of energy into us as we start to move and wake up for our day. So continue to take time to come into your breath. Then nice and slow, lowering the knees down onto the mat. We find our tabletop position. From here, we'll come into our shoulders a little bit. So just ensuring that your hands are stacked underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. I like to tuck my toes, but you might prefer to bring the tops of your feet down, whatever feels good for your body. As you inhale, you'll start to rotate your right arm up, take your eye gaze up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you'll weave your right shoulder, right ear down onto the mat. Your left hand can stay as it is. Maybe you want to walk the left hand forward to straighten it. Or if a half bind is in your practice, you might bring the left hand onto the low back or onto the right hip. Then when you're ready, nice and slow, bring the left hand back down if it's in the half bind. Reaching the right arm out, we find an arm circle, circling the arm forward. And then circling the arm back. Right hand comes down onto the mat, we move to the other side. So inhale, rotate the left arm up, take your eye gaze up. As you exhale, weaving the left arm down, bringing the left shoulder, left ear down. Once again, your right hand stays as it is, or if you want, you can begin to walk the right hand forward. Or if you prefer to take your half bind, if you did that on the other side, you might choose this option as well. Whatever feels best for your body. Seeing if you can really tune into what the body needs today. Then nice and slow, right hand comes up. If it's in your half bind, bring it back down into the mat. Drawing the left arm out, we find our arm circle, so a little rotation forward. And then a little rotation back. Left hand comes down. Finding our tabletop once again, we're going to take a few rounds of our cat and cows. So you're going to start to sink the belly down towards the mat. You want to feel your heart arcing forward, eye gaze goes forward. You want to feel your heart pulling through the arms. And then as you find your next breath, starting at the tailbone, beginning to tuck, rounding the spine, puffing the back of your heart up, chin to chest. Slowly sinking down, belly drops down, heart and eye gaze goes forward. Taking a few rounds like this, moving at a pace that feels comfortable for your body. If you want to sway the hips from side to side, if you want to roll it out a little bit more, you might choose to do that. Just get as creative as you want, any more, any less that you need than you need for your body. And then nice and slow coming back to center. From here, we're going to step our right foot forward, bringing it between the thumbs at the top of the mat, finding a low lunge. So you want to feel a stretch through the left side, the left hip flexor. Right knee is stacked over the right foot. You can keep your fingertips on the mat just to begin. Option for the back toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels good for your body. If you need support for your knee, feel free to bring a blanket across your mat. Take a moment just to keep the fingertips down. Feel your hips sink towards the mat. Nice, steady, even breath. Then as you take your next inhale, draw your arms up, find your low lunge. Reaching energy up through the fingertips and the crown of your head. Find engagement through the soles of your feet. Then nice and slow, hands come down. So if you need a little bit more support, you might choose to bring your left hand onto your block, just as an option. Otherwise, left hand stays on the mat. You'll begin to rotate your right arm, right eye gaze up towards the ceiling. Finding the breath, feeling the stretch. Then nice and slow, circling the right hand forward. You're going to walk now your foot towards the edge of the mat, so the foot at the top of the mat. And what you want to do is you're going to come onto the pinky edge of the foot as you allow the knee to drop out. So if this is good for you here, you might have your right hand inside of the right foot, either on the floor or on your block. Or if you want a little bit more, you might choose to bring your right hand onto the knee and just pulse the knee a little bit. So pulling it in, pulling it away, being super gentle with your body. Then from here, gently release, bring your hands onto the mat, move your prop out of the way. We come back towards our tabletop position. From here, I would like you to tuck your toes, ground down through your hands. As you inhale, you'll lift your hips up. You're going to find a downward facing dog. As you exhale, lower your knees back down towards your tabletop. Keep the toes tucked. Inhale, lift up towards your down dog. Exhale, lower down tabletop. Inhale, lift up, downward facing dog. Exhale, lower down to your tabletop. From here, we'll step our left foot forward this time, coming into our second side. So left knee over the left ankle. You want to feel a stretch through the right hip flexor, so you might need to walk your right knee back. Option with your back toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels good. Keep your fingertips on the floor. If you need to use your blocks for a little bit more support, feel free. Find activation through the left toes, so really grip them down into the mat and feel your right hip sink down. Then as you take your next inhale, draw your arms up, come all the way up towards your low lunge, your full expression. Find the breath. Then from here, right hand comes down onto your block or onto the floor. We find a rotation, take the left arm up, eye gaze follows. From here, begin to walk your left foot to the edge of your mat. So if you need to bring your left hand down, if this is a strong stretch already, you can stay here with your left hand on the floor or on your block. If you want a little bit more, bring your left hand onto your left knee. Roll onto the pinky edge of your foot and just find a slight pulse, so working into that hip space. Just be mindful if you're very cold through the body that you want to take your time. Don't push yourself into anything that you're not ready for. Then nice and slow, we come back onto our hands, and then glide back towards our tabletop position. When you arrive, nice full deep breath in, and then a full deep breath out. Once again, tucking the toes, you'll take your inhale to lift up towards your downward facing dog, and then as you exhale, lower the knees down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift up, and then exhale to lower. From here, take a moment, come back onto your heels, take a full deep breath in, and then a full deep breath out. From here, we're going to start to sweep our legs forward. You might choose to open out to the long edge of your mat if that is more comfortable for you. What you want to do is you want to start to take your legs out nice and wide. We want to feel a stretch through the inner groin here. We're going to take our hands, interlace them, and then you're just going to start to reach over to one foot, rotate your arms as far forward as you can, sweep to the other side, and take a cycle like that. So moving at a pace that feels good for your body. And then if you haven't already, just changing the direction, so moving in the other way. And then coming back through center. From here, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. We're going to drop the knees out wide. So I want you to bring your hands onto your feet, and we're just going to flutter the knees up and down. So finding a little bit of a pulse here. Just bringing that heat, that energy into the body, opening through the hips. Finding the breath always, keeping us grounded in our body and in our minds. And then you'll find stillness with the legs. As you take your next inhale, pull on the ankles, puff your heart up slightly, and then as you exhale, just a gentle fold forward. So don't be so worried if you find yourself rounding. Let your shoulders drop down, let your head be nice and heavy. If you want to grab your block, maybe to bring it in front of you, to rest your forehead on, that's also perfectly fine. If you're much higher than I am, if you are up here and just feeling like, no, not ready for that, that's also okay. Just see if you can relax the spine, and we'll just settle it here for a few rounds of breath. As you take your next inhale, lift the crown of your head up. Big exhale through the mouth. And then nice and slow, we're going to move towards our child's pose now. So you're going to take your knees wide, big toes together. If you want something more supportive underneath you, like a blanket or a bolster, feel free to bring it underneath. And then we're just going to lower the chest down, forehead drops down. Really letting the back body be nice and heavy. Nice full deep breath in. Nice full deep breath out. Now when you're ready, nice and slow, just support yourself to come up. Just allow the sit bones to come down, come into a nice comfortable seat. If you feel like you would like to close your eyes down, feel free, otherwise keep the eye gaze nice and soft, just placing the hands back onto the body. Take a moment just to notice how your energy feels now, just after a little bit of movement. Sometimes a little bit of movement can go a long way for our bodies, especially when we're starting that day. This is the time where we haven't yet been influenced by events or situations or other people. And the mind is the most clearest. There's a little bit more space within. And with that said, we'll close our class off together with a breath cycle. So just gently bringing your hands in towards your heart, taking a nice full deep breath in, and then a full deep breath out. I hope you enjoyed this short, sweet little class. I hope you have a really beautiful day, whatever it is that you may get up to today. I hope to see you very soon.